I have an overall well-being score of 7.4, as of January 8th, 2024 that is. But it wasn't always this way. Just 4 weeks ago, in early December 2023, my overall well-being score clocked in at a humble 6.25. 7.4 is almost an entire point up on a 10-point scale. Why this sudden change? Watch this video to find out. You may be skeptical about quantifying happiness, and you would be right to be skeptical about putting a number on it. But hear me out. In this video, I'm going to tell you how I came up with that score based on my own subjective well-being, practices I put in place to improve my score, and the test I took to generate that score. In the realm of positive psychology, subjective well-being is defined as how people experience and evaluate their lives and specific domains and activities within their lives. This is where Dr. Laurie Santos comes in. Dr. Laurie Santos rose to prominence in the public eye as the mastermind behind Yale's most popular course of all time, Psychology and the Good Life. It was so popular, in fact, that Dr. Santos went on to create a pioneering wellness study on the online learning platform Coursera that attempted to measure and improve happiness on a global, not just a local, scale. Did Dr. Santos succeed in bringing happiness to the masses? Let's find out by taking a closer look at the Coursera course and discuss my own personal experience taking the course. The Science of Well-Being was first launched on Coursera in 2018. A research paper discussing the results of the course was published in 2021. Link in the description below. It continues to remain a popular course to this day. In fact, a shorter version of the course was published in January 2023 to address the need for positive well-being practices in teens, titled The Science of Well-Being for Teens. In short, the published study results show a higher well-being score for students who took the Science of Well-Being course over a control class, a basic intro to psychology class. So let's talk about my own personal experience taking the course. Was it worth it? Would it be worth it for you? To start, the happiness score that I received was a result of taking the PERMA happiness survey, once at the start and once at the end of the 10-week course. You could easily run through all of the modules in the course in 2 weeks, but the course is designed to teach you evidence-based approaches to improving your own emotional well-being and to give you time to implement those changes in your own life. Each week has a rewirement challenge, a challenge that is based around the material for that week that is meant to rewire your brain to form better habits. For instance, week 2 introduces the concepts of savoring and gratitude, while week 6 introduces the concept of situation support, the academic term for creating an environment that supports your goals. Think of a candy jar on a table next to a bowl of apples. Given a choice between the two, which one are we more likely to eat? For most of us, probably the candy. It's hard to resist the sweet, sweet taste of sugar. But what if we were trying to eat healthier? By simply removing the jar of candy from the table, we're much more likely to have an apple instead. This situation support example introduces us to the concept of tricking our minds to perform the behavior that we want rather than to perform the behavior that we're impulsively drawn to. There are several ways our minds naturally work that aren't actually healthy for us. Dr. Santos calls these annoying features of the mind. In short, our intuitions about happiness are often entirely wrong, and we adapt to new things quickly. What once made us really happy, say a job promotion or a raise, quickly becomes normal and no longer brings us happiness. Of course, this begs the question, when is enough enough? If we are constantly adapting to new levels of happiness and are no longer happy, then when will we be happy? Learning why this occurs and rewiring our brains to have better habits is exactly what this course will teach you. After committing to just 10 minutes of meditation a day for 30 days straight, I was better able to focus on meaningful tasks and be less emotionally reactive to things in my life. This meant that I spent more time on things that were actually meaningful for me and ultimately improved my happiness. This wasn't the only challenge that I took as a result of taking the Science of Well-Being course. I also practiced writing in a gratitude journal for a week and regularly exercising, forming social connection, and contemplating the difference between time affluence and wealth affluence. And I learned about getting into a state of flow. In all of these examples, Dr. Santos shares research studies that have been conducted to experimentally prove why these strategies work, to provide evidence-based approaches to improving our well-being. In some cases, she even performs live interviews with the researchers themselves. So, was the course worth it? For me, it absolutely was. Would it be worth it for you? I think in the realm of psychology, it often gets labeled as a pseudoscience because it is harder to quantify results without a subjective component being part of the study. And this is a valid criticism, especially when it comes to positive psychology and the negative association we often have with feelings instead of results. And this mindset is really easy to embrace when looking at individual studies, but it is much harder to cling to when looking at the big picture. So many of the individual scenarios point to the exact same result, that we are often misguided about what will bring us happiness, and we can exercise agency in educating ourselves and spending more time taking actions that actually do bring us happiness. When study after study after study after study points to the same end result, how long can you remain a skeptic? For me, I know that I'm no longer a skeptic, and I've taken some time to experiment with these strategies myself, and my overall well-being score went up from 6.25 to 7.4. I'm spending more time on activities that are meaningful for me, and I'm getting better at discerning when I'm not spending my time that way. Will you challenge yourself? Will you take the class and see what mental traps may be preventing you from living a happier, more fulfilling, purpose-driven life? I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments below, and please like and subscribe for more thoughtful content like this. Cheers.